This is the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week pregame show, sponsored by Stadium GM.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the WKBN Game of the Week pregame show. I am Ryan Allison, sports director at WKBN TV, and tonight we kick things off with two of the best teams in the area, West Branch and Canfield, headlining our WKBN Game of the Week. And, of course, we bring in the voice of that Game of the Week, Chad Krispinski. Chad, we've been waiting to watch these two play for quite some time.
What a way to get things started, a marquee matchup over the course of the years. These two teams always seem to be in the mix when postseason play comes around. A measuring stick, truly, here in week number one.
Well, let's get right to the matchup notes. And, Chad, these two no stranger to one another.
Not at all. They've faced off in the season opener in each of the last 3 seasons. Canfield has won 2 of the last 3 head-to-head meetings.
And West Branch has been red hot over the last few years. You see that stat, 19 regular season wins in a row. In fact, the last time they lost was to Canfield 2 years ago in the opener.
Kind of uncharacteristic. The Cardinals, on the other hand, their first losing season in 11 years in 2024. They finished the campaign with a record of just 4-5. They're certainly looking to get that sour taste out of their mouths here in this one.
Well, they matched up in week 1 last year, and here's how it all went down. It was West Branch from the start in control. They took a 20-0 lead. Jeremiah Thomas, the outstanding senior quarterback returning this year, went 12 for 20 with 186 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Canfield would get on the board in the fourth quarter with a touchdown pass of their own, courtesy of Enzo Coca, one of our Big 22 contenders. West Branch rolled in the opener. 27-7 was the final. And of course, Canfield hoping for a much better result this year, and things look promising with what they've seen so far in the preseason. Of course, the Cardinals go into this under head coach Joe Ignazio, who's in his second year with the Cardinals, and he will once again lean on the strength of that offensive line, which has been key over the last few years. Landon Shina, their 6'3", 230-pound tight end, a big part of that. Enzo Coca returns at quarterback, another Big 22 contender. In fact, Canfield will return their leading passer, their leading rusher, and their leading receiver, and hopefully that will pay dividends this year in the win column.
I think it's just different this year. I think our team came together, all grades, the chemistry is really strong this year, and I can't wait to see what happens. This team's going to be a tough team week 1. They're going to be a challenge for sure. So we got to bring our A game. It's going to tell us a lot about our season and how tough our team is as well.
What has to happen Friday night for Canfield to enter week number 2 with a record of 1-0?
Yeah, you just got to come out there. We've been prepping during the whole offseason. This is where it finally pays off now for sure. So, you just got to take it day by day, play by play, 4 to 6 seconds to the echo of the whistle and play 4 quarters, all 4 quarters.
Well, that Canfield team will have its hands full with West Branch, a team with a boatload of firepower at the skill positions. They averaged nearly 40 points per game last fall. Jeremiah Thomas, Ryan already mentioned him earlier, earned all state honors in 2024. Nearly 2,000 passing yards, 29 touchdowns. He also rushed for 933 and 15 more scores. Easily, safe to say, one of the best playmakers in the area. He was a part of the Big 22 a year ago, and I'm sure when December rolls around, he'll be in the mix again. They really like quarterback Grady Hurst. Coach Cooper told me he's the closest thing to Drew DeShields since Drew DeShields. They also have a mammoth tight end, number 82, Gavin Gregory, 6'7", 240 pounds, a huge target, and he is committed to Toledo, and he just can't wait for the opening kickoff in Canfield.
I'm just so excited. Canfield's always been a big game for us, and I'm always excited when I play them. They've always been a good program. Us and them both have been good programs over these past few years. Like last year when we beat them, we just knew we were going to be a good team because them having a good program, we just know we were set for good things.
What would a win over Canfield in week 1 mean for this Warrior group?
It would mean everything. If we beat them, when we beat them, we're going to get super excited. Momentum's going to build up, and I feel like we'll have a good shot at going 10-0.
When we beat them, Chad, that is a confident group.
Confidence not lacking on either side. Should be a great game here this evening.
Well, coming up after the break, we will hear from the coaches as they break down this Week 1 matchup between West Branch and Canfield. More on our WKBN Game of the Week pregame show coming up after the break.
The best used cars in the Valley at StadiumGM.com.
Why pay more for your next pre-owned vehicle when you can save hundreds, even thousands at the Stadium GM Pre-Owned Superstore? We make the buying process easy. Choose from the area's finest and safest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. We help get you the financing you deserve. And if you're looking to just sell your car, we'll buy it. We have a car for every budget at the award-winning Stadium GM Pre-Owned Superstore in Salem.
Inner Circle Pizza Canfield. Come see why it's much, much more than a pizzeria. The 42-seat granite bar and 8 HD TVs make this the best seat in the house to watch your favorite sporting events. The casual setting is perfect for family meals and get-togethers. Enjoy all the original icy favorites, plus specialty pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and daily specials. Dine in or carry out. Inner Circle Pizza Canfield, where food and fun are endless. Ironwood Boulevard, across from the Hampton Inn.
At Northeast Ohio Impact Academy, we aren't just teaching our students, we're preparing them for their future. Through our pathways in health, technology, and design, students develop real skills for real careers. Our design challenges bring classroom learning with real-world impact, helping students learn to communicate, innovate, and solve meaningful problems. Students earn industry-recognized credentials that enhance their marketability after high school. And through our College Credit Plus partnerships, they have the opportunity to graduate with an associate degree. Learn more today at neoimpactacademy.org.
Our beards are big, your worries stay small.
You keep seeing their trucks around town. Find out why so many trust the Beard when it's time to move. Bearded Brothers Moving Group prides themselves on the excellent care they take with each and every customer's belongings. They know that moving's a hassle, so they do the work for you. Trust the local, family-oriented company with deep roots in the community that is always looking to give back. Bearded Brothers Moving Group. Request a quote today.
Good luck to all the high school football teams this year.
Welcome back to the WKBN Game of the Week pregame show. You know, West Branch has been the model of consistency over the last few years. They're one of the highest scoring teams, of course, in the Valley, and the 5-time reigning Eastern Buckeye Conference champions. Tonight, Chad Krasinski has more with head coach Tim Cooper in our coaches segment, brought to you by our friends at Axio Fitness.
Well, Coach, all the off-season conditioning, the workouts, the weightlifting, it all kind of comes to a head here this week. The regular season is here. What's your level of excitement?
I mean, this is a great group of guys that we have here, and I'm really excited about, just getting the opportunity to play football again. We had a great season last year, tough way the season ended, so I think our kids are really excited for, after all the work in the offseason that they've put together, getting the opportunity to showcase what they can do.
The tradition here at West Branch is second to none. Since you took over, this has been an amazing run, 34-5 during your 3 years. What's the secret to success to continuing these winning ways?
I think there's a combination of different things. We have a great coaching staff, and we've been able to keep that group of guys together over the last 5 years or so. And then we have a great community with great families, with great morals and structures. And, being able to coach the kids hard because of the way that they're brought up has been a big beneficiary for our program. And then our kids are buying into everything that we're saying, offensively, defensively, special teams. Our culture has been great. And that's just a testament to the kids and the families that we have.
You open up not with just any opponent, another of the premier opponents on your schedule, another of the top teams in the Valley, Canfield. What kinds of challenges do the Cardinals present?
I mean, with their culture, they're going to be a physical football team on both sides of the football. Being able to control the line of scrimmage is going to be important for us to have success. So Coach Ignazio is going to get that place rolling. I know that, they had a down year, but they return a lot of talent, and it's going to be a great test for us.
A great measuring stick right from the get-go. Why is it important to schedule a team like Canfield in Week 1?
I mean, our goals and aspirations are to play deep into the playoffs. So you're going to see great teams later in the season. So getting the preparation, seeing where you're at with the physicality of the game is really important for us. That's why we went out and grabbed New Philly at Week 2. We know that Canfield is going to be a great test for us year in and year out. So to have success in the postseason, I think you have to be challenged in the regular season. And that's what we're going to do with our schedule schedule.
What has popped on film from their scrimmages that will present challenges from Canfield?
They've got a really good tight end H-back, number 86, the Shina kid, I believe his last name is. He does a lot of different things in their pass game and their run game. They have good team speed on the perimeter. They've been able to have a number of explosive plays, so it's going to be important for us to get off blocks and make those tackles. The Coca kid's a really talented kid. He's going to play on both sides of the football, and he seems to be their leader. So we're expecting a lot of him on Friday night at the quarterback position, but I'm sure they're going to move him around because they have another talented kid behind them. So I think it's going to be a great test for us. I think our kids have had a good week so far, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Give me 3 things that have to happen for West Branch to be 1-0 after Friday night.
We got to win the turnover battle. We got to be able to stop the run, and then we got to protect our quarterback. Those 3 things, and we should be in a good situation.
Last thing, what's that emotion going to be like when you run out onto that field Friday night with this group of Warriors?
Nothing but pure excitement. These guys have worked really hard in the summer, and I'm excited to see that hard work pay off.
Best of luck tonight, and best of luck throughout the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
So that's the story from here in Beloit with the West Branch Warriors. Ryan, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Chad. Well, coming up after the break, we will hear from Canfield as the Cards get ready to defend their home turf. More on the WKBN Game of the Week pregame show coming up after the break.
The Friday Night Football Forecast is sponsored by Window World.
You already know us for our top-tier windows, but what about our selection of beautiful entry doors? Choose from a wide range of doors in colors and styles designed to fit your home and budget. Our entry door systems offer enhanced home security, energy efficiency, and instant curb appeal. Plus, our experts will install your new door in as little as a day, so you won't have to wait long for a Window World welcome home. Contact Window World for a free quote.
Are you dealing with a tough or unique real estate situation? We're Hometown Fixer Upper in Poland, and we buy houses.
A lot of people know who we are, but may not know exactly what we do. Call us and we'll talk about your situation. We'll give you a fair cash offer over the phone that same day. Then we'll come see it. If everything looks good, we'll close on the day that you want, and we'll even pay the closing costs.
We make it easy for you to move forward. Call Hometown Fixer Upper today, 330-577-SELL.
Attention high school sophomores. Now is the time to enroll at the Mahoning County Career and Technical Center. At MCCTC, we do things differently. We approach learning in the new school, hands-on, real-world way so that you are prepared not just for the jobs of today, but for the jobs of the future. We inspire innovation and collaboration in our more than 20 high-tech labs. Visit MahoningCTC.com and book a tour with me today. We can't wait to meet you.
Here at B&R Wholesale Tire and Wheel, you just stop in and leave $49 down. You pick them out and drive them out the same day.
B&R Wholesale Tire, we're known by the money you keep.
Here at B&R Wholesale Tire and Wheel, we have 17-inch painted custom wheels for your car, starting as low as $139.95 each.
B&R Wholesale Tire, we're known by the money you keep.
Welcome back to the WKBN Game of the Week pregame show. Of course, Canfield has had their struggles over the last year, but this is a proud program and one that is just a few years removed from a state championship. And if you remember, that big run happened with a win over West Branch. Joe Ignazio is, of course, well aware of that. Chad Krasinski met up with him earlier this week and has more in our Coaches segment brought to you by Axio Fitness.
Coach, the long wait is over. The off-season workouts are done. The weightlifting is complete, at least the off-season portion. What's your level of excitement now to get this season underway, season 2 with you as head coach here at Canfield?
The juice has been flowing for a few months. You know, you get back after, we get 28 days off. And then that first week in December when we start back in the weight room, start to get your juices flowing. But, really when the weather breaks around the end of February, beginning of March, you really start to feel the football juice come back into play, and we're excited to be part of Game of the Week.
It was a tough season last year. How motivated is this group to kind of bounce back from that year and show people what Canfield football is all about?
This group has been extremely resilient, mentally tough. No one expected to have a team go through what they went through with so much change last year. The program was on solid legs for 25 years. And it was a lot. Those guys said, I told them at the banquet, they went through more adversity than any football program I'd been a part of. And hats off to them. You know, the teams we lost to were all playoff teams, you know, so that's a testament to our schedule. But they need to turn a couple of those losses their way and be back in the playoffs this year.
This is a group that'll be challenged right here in week one, right from the get-go, against a really talented West Branch group. What impresses you, what pops when you look at them on film?
Yeah, they're up-tempo. I mean, there's times on film you can see the officials aren't even getting the stick set and they're getting the next playoff. So they try to wear you down with their tempo. They get their skill, their good skill, you know, big tight end that presents problems defensively. And the Jeremiah Thomas kid is electric. He's an all-state kid for a reason. And you know, they can do a variety of things with him, whether it's at wildcat or tailback or, you know, out at the slot position, wherever it may be. He's going to present a problem. We've got to make sure that we're fresh up front and rotate in when we can. And then we've got to make sure that we tackle in space well. We always say don't give speed and athleticism space to run, and we've got to fly to the ball and play great defense.
Quite a measuring stick in week one. You'll learn a lot about this group through the first game of the season, won't you?
Absolutely. We'll continue to build depth. I'm excited about our young guys that will continue to help those older guys in their leadership. But make no bones about it, we're going to be led by our senior leadership and those guys in the trenches and the guys, those 8 or 9 guys that got experience on both sides of the ball last year.
3 things that have to happen for the Cardinals to be 1-0 after week one.
Yeah, we always say win the turnover battle. We want to keep them under a certain number of yards of rushing. If we think we can control the rush game, then they got to put the ball in the air, and they like to do that to begin with. And I'm not going to say it makes it easier, but your game plan kind of becomes easier because you know they got to throw it, and they certainly want to do that. So, you know, those are really the things. And then obviously play physical and win at home are big ones for us. So,
what is your message to your team as you get ready to take the field here at home in week one in 2025?
Yeah, fear no opponent. Prepare like it's your last game. And it's something special to play in our stadium on Friday night. And, you know, you don't get your openers back. And we talked to the seniors about that this week, and they've bought in and they're ready to go.
Coach, good luck tonight and this season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's the story from here at Canfield. Ryan, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
And that brings us to our keys to the game, brought to you by Hometown Fixer-Upper. And Chad, you heard both coaches mention win the turnover battle. They're 2 experienced coaches, and they know how to value the rock.
Both teams are also looking to stop the run. That could open up the aerial attack for both the Cardinals and the Warriors, and both sides looking to make a statement. A signature win here tonight would be a very, very big step to starting things off on the right foot in 2025.
Absolutely. Well, coming up after the break, we will preview some of the other big games happening tonight, and we'll get a sneak peek at some of the Valley's best. A look at our WKBN Power Rankings coming up after the break here on the WKBN Game of the Week pregame show.
Great weather expected as we get football season underway. West Branch and Canfield, what a great night I'm expecting weather-wise. Temperatures falling out of the 70s into the 60s. Just a few clouds expected through this evening. Wind not going to be a big factor for us this evening either. Could be a little breezy to get the game going, but settling down as the evening rolls along. No precipitation to talk about. Just a few clouds and even going mostly clear at times through this evening. Temperatures continue to fall out of the 70s into the 60s, and really nice weather here for your Friday evening into the entire football game and even on your drive home. So the bottom line, just a few clouds, temperatures falling out of the 80s into the 60s, and dry weather is expected. By the way, tracking any rain throughout the football season, Storm Team 27 weather app, you can get radar and an hourly forecast.
Our Coach's Conversation is brought to you by Axio Fitness.
So I've been with Axio for over 9 years now, and I've seen everything from teenagers to people in their 90s. We know your goals. We know what you're shooting for. One of my favorite success stories was a client. She set a very high goal of wanting to hike Machu Picchu, and she just kept getting stronger each week. By the time she got to that mountain, there wasn't anything she couldn't do. If you're moving, that's medicine. Don't let the chair win, in other words.
Axio Fitness. Come be our next success story.
Buying or selling? Call Klasick Real Estate for hometown service, values, and expertise. Locally owned since 1969. Call Klasick Real Estate at 330-757-8855. Klasick Real Estate proudly presents Poland's newest residential development. Villanora Homes offers beautiful custom-built 2- and 3-bedroom open-floor concepts. Call Klasick Real Estate today for details.
Go with goals!
Some things don't start with you, they live through you. In my family, the field runs deep. In theirs, it's heating and cooling. Built by fathers, carried by sons. Not just names, but legacies. 70 years of showing up, not to make history, but to honor it.
We've got it all at the Stadium GM Superstore. We make buying easy because we're the only store that has all 4 GM lines under one roof. We strive to provide you with the finest selection of GM cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, you always get more for your trade-in. We're proud to have the finest service department, body shop, and parts department in the area. Our goal is to always exceed your expectations. We are your locally owned Stadium GM Superstore in Salem.
Welcome back to the WKBN Game of the Week pregame show. 55 local teams will begin their quest for a championship crown this week. Tonight, we give you a sneak peek at a few of those that we think have a pretty good shot. It is the first installment of our WKBN preseason Power Rankings. We begin in Austintown.
Number 3.
Austintown Fitch won 9 games last year and have all the right numbers to take a big step forward this season. The Falcons welcome back 9 starters on offense and 8 more on defense. Among the returners, 3-year starter Booker Newberry on the line, 1,000-yard passer Colin Calaher, and junior running back DeAndre Richard, who broke a school record last season with nearly 1,700 yards rushing.
Number 2.
Farrell has claimed 4 consecutive District 10 titles and look primed for a 5th this season. They return 9 starters on both sides of the ball, including senior Juels Johnson, one of the most explosive players in the state of Pennsylvania. Our reigning WKBN Big 22 Player of the Year amassed over 2,000 total yards and 27 touchdowns last season. This year, his Steelers will have to navigate one of the toughest schedules in the state, however, with road games in Ohio against both Ursuline and Steubenville.
Number 1.
Hickory returns this season loaded with talent in all the right places. Junior running back Kelvin Morrison racked up over 1,800 yards and 26 touchdowns last year. He returns this season with an offer from Ohio State. The Hornets led all of Mercer County last year with over 41 points per game and claimed their 2nd consecutive District 10 title. They will no doubt have their sights set on a three-peat this season. Here's a look at the rest of our preseason top 10. Warren JFK, a conference champ last year. This season, they returned 10 starters, including a Division I college recruit in lineman Carter DeJulio. The NE8 will have a lot of good teams this year. South Range is young, but remains the 5-time conference champ. Poland could give them a run for their money, though. The Bulldogs returned 6-letter winners at the skill positions, including Big 22 veteran Vito Kamara. We like their chances. McDonald has their leading passer, rusher, and receiver returning, so the 100th year of high school football out there could be a big one for the Blue Devils. West Branch was one of the highest scoring teams in the Valley last year, and their outstanding quarterback Jeremiah Thomas returns to lead that Big Green machine. Wilmington has every starter back from a team that led Mercer County in rushing. We love the Hounds' chances this season. And Ursuline was a missed field goal away from the Division III state championship game last year. The 6-time reigning Steel Valley champs have plenty of firepower returning this year to make another run at it. Well, joining us in the WKBN Plus studio, Chad Krispinski, Zach Verdia, and WKBN.com analyst Vince Pellegrini. Guys, thanks for joining us. A lot of big games happening this weekend. Chad, we'll start with you with another live marquee matchup coming up on Saturday night.
Yeah, must-see TV. Two state powers in Western Pennsylvania will face off in the WKBN Game of the Week. It will be Farrell and Hickory. Of course, the 2024 thriller went right down to the wire. We were there. The Hornets got the win, 35-31. Not just two of the best teams, premier talent individually as well. In addition to Joels Johnson, Aaron Pegues at Farrell, his second season as the quarterback. He has some high expectations. Hickory lineman Luke Lewis back for the Hornets. He's a two-time All-State selection, also a member of the WKBN 5 Blocks of Granite. The Hornets also have Jaden Phillips. He's a blue-chip recruit that has multiple Division I college offers, and he's a big play waiting to happen. Should be fun. It is Farrell and Hickory, Saturday night, 7 o'clock on the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week.
Zach, how about you? Who are you looking forward to?
Yeah, another great matchup this opening week will be Ursuline taking on Steubenville. This is a big one. Road matchup for Ursuline to start the season. They've won actually their last 15 regular season road contests, and the numbers for Steubenville are just as impressive. Steubenville has lost just one game in the regular season the past 2 years. And of course, yes, that was week 1 a couple years ago in our Game of the Week in 2023 when the Irish took down the Big Red by 8 points. And the defense of Ursuline will be huge in this one. They allowed just 8 points last year and have a bunch returning, 4 guys with more than 6+ sacks and a new quarterback coming in for Steubenville, so it should be a tough test in week 1.
Vince, you did a ton of preseason interviews. Who are you excited to see on Friday night?
It's always exciting to see two of the state's most respected programs, McKinley and Harding, go at it. This has all the makings of being another classic, much just like last year. There's a certain aura surrounding this Harding team. The foundation is set for success right away. However, in recent memory, Harding has been a slow starter, considering they've dropped each of their last 8 season openers. Now McKinley, they have a new face running their program in Renzi Parnell, Hogan's longtime assistant. Big shoes to fill as the Bulldogs have advanced to the postseason every year for the past decade. It's been nearly 8,000 days since Harding defeated McKinley back in 2003. Can this be the year?
Great math, great math. Another big game happening on Friday night over in Western Pennsylvania. You see the matchup, Wilmington and Greenville. These two met up twice last year. Hounds won both games, but it was a great district championship with over 600 yards of total offense. Trojans return one of the most dynamic players in the area in Justin Schell. They got a great run game with Rudy Gentili, but the Hounds, they don't throw it much and they don't need to. They are averaging last year 270 yards rushing per game. That was the tops in Mercer County. We're looking forward to that game on Friday night as well. Those just a few of the big games happening on Friday night. Gentlemen, thank you for being here, and that'll do it for our pregame coverage. Coming up next, we will have kickoff between West Branch and Canfield in our WKBN Game of the Week.
Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay Watson. Thanks for watching the WKBN 27 First News YouTube channel. If you want more video news, subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the WKBN 27 First News app for breaking news alerts.